Hi guys, today I am celebrating my 500 certified PMP in 2023. 500 certified PMP in 2023. The purpose of this celebration is to send a strong message to you guys. The purpose of this celebration is that it was a dream for me when we started the training, and it all started with a dream. And the dream was that we wanted to make a program in which every single student not only get valued but they get understood. You see, I still remember when I took the training, and when I was taking the training, there were it was a face-to-face training. There was no concept of course, online training at that time. Maybe there was, but the trend was almost to zero. And when I was taking the training, there were people having 20 years of experience. There were people having 30 years of experience. I was the only one with 3 years and 15 days of experience. That was the minimum requirement of PMP. And I have been studying PMP for past 6 months. Once the training ended, my trainer, who was very capable and I respect him a lot, he gave me, okay, you need to read this book, this book, this books. And for mocks, he actually gave us some kind of things with the USB, do these questions. There was no simulator, no nothing else. And once the training completed, uh, I was struck. I have to fill the application by my own. I filled the application, that was okay. But as soon as I submitted my application, and I still remember it got audited. Like I was in Pakistan and I was working in Bahrain, and I was got audited, and auditing means I have to send all my documents to the PMI. And when I mean saying the sending the document, it's not like right now what is being done. You can upload the documents and it's so beautiful. You just scan the document and send them. It was not like that. You have to basically, what you have to do, you have to send them in a envelope has to be stamped, sealed, and you send them those envelope. It was so challenging for me and get it signed and so many things. And there was no sport of anything or any way from whatever I would say way. So I was so much panic while I was giving the PMP exam, while I was working for the PMP exam, things like uh, things like that. I needed to understand. So when I did my PMP and eventually came to the training, it all came back to me, and I decided one thing, that one thing is going to be changed, and that thing is basically will be this, that I'm gonna design a program, and that program will be made in a way that I will work with the students. I will coach the students till they become PMP. That's it. I will coach the student, I will hold their hand, and as a mentor, I will start working with them step by step, one by one. Initially, when I started doing that training long time back when we started working into that, I did with one student at a time, one. Then many students said that they don't want to learn in a one-to-one way. So what we did, I said, okay, that's perfectly fine. What we will do, we will start a group program. But in order to make sure that the things I started, it remains same there, I kept my one-to-one program with me. I wanted to make sure that this thing remain same for me and I can deliver the best possible way to the student. And then I actually learned from one of the trainer. I don't remember her name. I saw what she was doing. She was doing a question answer session she used to do her question answer session at a closed group, and she upload those question answers at YouTube. And after 2 to 3 weeks, she removed it. And I am a big believer of that. if good artist copy, great artist steal. And I have been shameless about my stealing. I never cared about that. So what I did, I basically learned from them, learned from her, and I started doing coaching, question answer session, one question at a time. If you still go to my YouTube channel, there are question answer session, one question at a time, one question. We started working into that. Then I started doing live coaching call, and eventually it worked into that way. The coaching call kept on working, and now we do three coaching call in a week. Now we have a customized roadmap, and now we do daily follow up with my students. And of course, one of the challenge as we grow, as the number of, and my groups are big groups. The last group we have 70 students. We had the students, and making sure all of them become certified PMP in 6 weeks. So of course I had my own student, and we started working into that. I started getting updates from my trainers, and we started working one step at a time. We started doing multiple things so that students can understand that thing. And one of the question daily, I take out my yellow pad, I write down one question, and I pondered on it for 15 minutes. Sometime in the morning, sometime during my office time, but I try to do at least one time. And the simple question is this: how I can make PMP more simpler, straightforward. I do this thing daily basis. How I can make PMP simpler, and whatever the ideas I get, what are the things I worked into that. So what I start doing into that, I start implementing it. I start doing it, and from there came journey video. From there came pathway videos. From there came pocket series. From there came my daily questions, and now the recent additions, the success journeys of the student, came from there. And then it now I am putting daily summary of the success journeys, also came from there. Okay. And now with the YouTube, with the TikTok, with the shorts, we are developing it into every single way, because my goal is very straightforward. My goal is to provide you in the best possible way. You see, in my programs, when I made the program, I'm a big like book reader. I read books a lot. But when I started designing my program, I started noticing that people cannot read books. One of the biggest challenge has been, and that is still, most of the trainers, like total there are I guess 10 to 15 authors in the entire world total. The most famous book for PMP is Rita McCulkey. Then there's a book by Scott Pine, there's a book by Andy Crow, there's a book by Andy Ramdayal, and maybe 8 to 10 other books. So what happened, basically people cannot read the book. So I designed the program in that way that you don't have to read any kind of book. And 99% of my students never never even read any kind of book. They never have to. There was no need to read the book, because my program was designed in the way we were doing question answers, we were doing root cause analysis, we were working closely with the students, so that this thing is not a challenge with them. This thing is not a need with them. So while I was working with them, and I have been doing, I started getting more people, like they want also prefer to have something physical. They want to read something. They want to have something physical. So what I did, I always partner with my students. I always worked with my student. So what I did, I'll show you. This is my basically book. Okay. I started writing a book with my team member, with my student, and we made this book. Yeah. We made this book. Still, in my programs, you don't have to read book, but I made it so easy that if you want to read any book, you can read it. Let me just open one paragraph and read it, just for you how the things work. Okay. So the topic is conflict management. Conflict is inevitable in a project management. Sources of conflict include scarce resources, scheduling priorities, and personal work style, team ground rules, group norms, and solid project management principles. Practices like communication, planning, and role definition reduces the amount of conflict. The project manager must determine the level of stage, etc. etc. So I wrote this book in a way so that if you want to read a book, then even you don't have to read any kind, even my book, you don't have to read in the PMP. You don't have to read. I'm saying it again and again. But for those people who want to read the book, I wanted to write something that you can easily go through it. I wanted to make something, if you want to read, you can read it like a story form. And maybe I will write something in a future that is in more in a story form. But it again, it all comes down to this thing that you don't have to read any kind of book. Then I started looking into a way the next challenge alongside with the book. Alongside with the book, the challenge was the challenge that we had is basically people when they solve question, they are solving question on PDFs, on documents, in this way. And when they go to the actual exam, when they actually go to the exam is time boxed. The exam is in this way that become challenges. So what I did then, I designed my simulator. I made my simulator in a way that helps the student to solve the question and understand it. Okay, to help the question in a way that it works along the way. So this simulator finally I made, and now this is the best simulator in the market. Let me make very clear. If you go to my simulator, you have random mocks. I'm talking about PMP. 10 questions, 10 mock set of 10, 10, 10, 10. You do only have 15 minutes, you can do 10, 10 questions. Okay. If you have much 20 minutes, you can do 15, then 30, then 60. And then I made it people mocks 6 set of 60-60 question. Process mock 6 set of 60-60 question. And of course, overall mocks 6 set 60-60 question. And it all came, everything came from one idea, and still I'm working on that. How I can make PMP simpler for you, how I can make PMP more effective, more digestible for you. Okay, it all comes down to this only one thing: how I can make PMP easier for you. And that is one of the biggest reason why we have so many PMPs, and why the number of PMPs is increasing. And from this thing came another important thing, that is my PMP marathon. PMP marathon is 60 question answer session that we do every month, and this month it is going to happen on Saturday. Normally I do on Sunday, but my students voted that it is preferred if we can have it on Saturday, and so we are having it on Saturday, this Saturday 8 p.m. UAE time. This will be question answers made by certified PMPs, and these questions will help them to clear the PMP in the best possible way. So I highly recommend that you join those coaching call, you work with us, and you become certified PMP. Just talk to me. We are going to have a in-person session in Lahore. We have group session, one-to-one session. Talk to us, talk to my team, how this can help you in your journey, because it all comes down to how we can help you in your journey. You see, I'm not in a commodity, like I don't need thousands of students. I only need few students. I work with them and I make sure they become PMP. Let me be very clear. Few students, I work with them and I make them PMP. For example, in one batch, it's almost 50 to 70 students depending upon that. But even if I have one student, I do batch. I actually had some in the batch 10 last year, October batch. I had 6 to 8 students. I did the batch, made everyone certified, and kept on moving. And that is my promise to you, that I will coach you, I will work with you, I'll guide you till you become PMP. And that is the only promise I can make you. Thank you very much for joining, and I wish you all the best of luck and become PMP. And do register for PMP Marathon. Bye bye.